All right, welcome to episode one. And today we're going to be talking about the importance of health and fitness in our life. But before we get started, I want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Coach Allen out of Pasadena, California, SlimTone Academy. I've been a coach for, I forgot, like 7, 8 years. Started off doing TRX training. Then we got into kettlebells, zoo, animal flow, and the rest is history. We help busy adults make time for themselves to dramatically change their health and fitness so they can live their best life. And what about you, Mari?
Woo, that was the intro. I can't follow up with that. But I'm Mari, and I am with Made by Mari Fitness. I also do Sweat and Serenity Fitness retreats and a lot of training, competing, etc. I keep it short and sweet.
Be sure she's being humble, guys. All right, if you guys are looking for a great personal trainer, definitely hit her up. She is awesome, and she does posing coaching, right, for competitive bodybuilders. So if you need help with that as well, hit her up. She's good peoples. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into the importance of health and fitness in our life. And I think this is a great topic because I think people don't really value health and fitness the way they should. Would you agree? You think that's accurate or?
Oh man, it's so many layers to that. So you're definitely right. I don't think that they understand the importance. It depends on your clientele, right? So you have a lot of people who are just worried about the aesthetic. So just because someone looks healthy doesn't necessarily mean that they are healthy. And it depends on what your life is. Like, are you 80 years old and you want to be able to get up and down off the floor? You want to be able to preserve your hips and not fall down when you're walking down the street? Or, do you have cardiovascular health that you're trying to improve and maintain? Like, there's so many levels. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, I think it's a crazy one because, being in the fitness industry, I'll meet people who have significant issues revolving their health, and they're like, oh, well, maybe in 3 months from now, or when my kids get older, we tend to think that this is something that we can push off until later, and it's not until people are faced with some kind of life-threatening condition where they actually want to take things serious. But health and fitness is like you said, it's not just aesthetics, it's the quality of life that you're living. And it's kind of like that old saying going back to when you're flying an airplane, they say, put your face mask on before you help the person next to you, because, especially for moms or even dads, right? Let's give the guys some credit. If you're not living your best, how can you give your best to somebody else if you're not the best yourself? So, let's dive into that, right? Because there's a lot of different ways that just being healthy actually improves your quality of your life, right? And I think for most adults, the one that rings true to me, right out the gate, is energy, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm a coffee drinker. I'm not gonna lie. I drink coffee religiously on a daily basis. I don't know about you, Mari.
Every day?
Yeah, every day. And my kids are older. And energy is a big one for me. So there's a lot of people who are suffering from low energy. And I don't know. What do you see in your experience? What will be one for you?
So, quick story time. I used to work for a commercial gym. Mm-hmm. And when I moved back to LA, I just needed a job. So I was like, oh, I'll just be a personal trainer. I got my degree in exercise science. I'll just do this part-time just for now. I didn't know I wanted to be a personal trainer full-time. One of my very first clients was a guy. He was recovering from a stroke. And him and his wife came in, and he wanted help walking again with his gait. He had drop foot. So if you don't know what that is, that means he drug one of his feet because it happened on one side of his body. So I'll get him on the treadmill. We were slowly just walking to get him back. We were doing strength training and all these exercises. We worked together for maybe a month. His wife came to me super emotional. She was like, oh my God, thank you so much. He's so much better. And not only was he getting better physically, but he was so much better emotionally because he was the type of man who provided for his family. Mm-hmm. And so when he had a stroke and he couldn't do much, it really weighed on him. Mm-hmm. And he felt that, and it transferred over to his wife, and she was just didn't know where to go, where to start. she was kind of lost. So like that kind of changed my perspective. Like, oh, this is not about six packs and glutes and bikini bodies. Like this is life changing. And so that is what I think about when we talk about health being important. So yes, like you said, we usually wait until something happens, until we have that heart attack or that stroke, or we fall down and break our hip, or our knee starts hurting, or our ankles are messed up. But you have to do the preventative work. You have to strengthen your quads so your knees stay strong. Crazy, right? When your knees hurt, it's usually not because something's wrong with your knees. It's because your muscles around that joint are weak. We're not going to get into the whole. I don't have to educate y'all fully. No, usually that point of pain is not the problem.
Yeah. And then we talk about energy, like let's just talk about job, right? Like job performance. If you got low energy because you're not healthy, that translates over to your work. So, when we're talking about the importance of health and fitness, let's talk about money. Like who doesn't like making money, right? So, if you have more energy, you can be more productive, a higher level worker or above the line thinker, right? So, when you talk about health and fitness, it can make you more money. So, because people look at fitness as an expense, right? And they're like, oh man, it's expensive, or oh man, it's going to cost me, XYZ dollars per month. Like, okay, how much does it cost to not perform at your job the best you could, right? To not put out the best work product, to not be able to focus during meetings that are dragging on, and or listening to all the details. So when you perform that task, you're paying attention to the small things. Like those are things that are impacted by having low energy, by not being healthy and fit. Carrying groceries upstairs and getting winded by the time you make it up the first 3 steps. It's just a lot of things that people ignore and they don't connect.
So let me ask you this: how many business books have you read?
Quite a few. I got a master's in business, so quite a few.
A few, right? Yeah. And all of the books that I've read about making more money, about growing your business, about being better, literally in every book, they're like, get up and work out.
First thing in the morning.
Move your body.
Yep.
Eat right. We've been talking a lot about working out, but eating right, like that is going to help your energy. That's going to help your mind. That's what's going to make you better just all around.
Yeah.
So yeah, just to piggyback on that, literally everybody is like, work out.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
not just everybody.
So we talked about energy. What's another thing? We could talk about sleep.
Oh.
Right. So sleep is that, and sleep is it's a hard topic for me because, anybody who knows me, I'm a night owl. Right. And I'm a wife's making gestures because she know I stay up late. All right. But, and my excuse is always the same excuse. Like, oh, I got kids at home and I don't get to do stuff myself until they go to bed. And there's some merit to it and some of it just straight up BS. But but sleep. Right. So I noticed that when I don't work out, I stay up later because I'm just wired. Right. And, I'm up. But when I'm consistently working out, I want to go to bed earlier and I have healthier sleep and I get, my 7 to 8 hours of sleep when I'm working out. When I'm not working out, I get 5 to 6. How's it? I mean, is there any correlation to sleep for you?
Well, I go to bed pretty early. I'm like the opposite of you. I start getting sleepy at 7:45. So about 8:30, I'm in bed. I'm in bed. But I think mainly food. Actually, my eating affects my sleep. So if I eat something salty, and it dehydrates me in the morning, I feel like I had a hangover. Even if I didn't drink anything at all. Also, I look forward to my morning workouts. So that helps me sleep better. That motivates me to get out of the bed. My coffee and my workouts.
Your coffee?
I'm excited about my coffee. And I'm excited about my workouts in the morning. I love working out in the morning. I just get it done. And then it's out the way, checked off the list.
Yeah.
And I just feel better. I'm in a better mood. I'm better to my clients. Like my creative juices are flowing. Their workouts are better. It's just great. And if I miss that workout, I really feel it throughout the whole day. So sleep is super important. Those days that I don't get sleep, on rare occasion that I go out or do something weird,
Yeah.
that's weird to me. Yeah, I feel it the next day,
Yeah.
and I feel like my clients feel.
Is that Oreo?
Yes, she's shaking the table.
So Mari has a very cute dog, but the dog is very dog. Her dog knows what she wants. You know, she likes what she likes. She knows what she wants, and she's gonna go for it. But she's a sweet dog. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
sleep is important, and sleep is actually the thing that it's one of the important aspects of health and fitness that people just we know it, but we like to ignore it, and we like to try to do everything else but address the sleep and the water, right? And for some reason, water is always a difficult one too. But that's more of like talking about what to do for your health and fitness. So let's talk about more about the importance, right? So do you think health and fitness is important in, let's just say, a relationship?
Is okay. What aspect of your relationship?
I
Like you
mean,
got
I
to.
mean, I mean, we know one clear aspect that is beneficial in,
Are we
right?
talking about sex?
Let's talk about. I mean, is it important to sex?
Well, yeah. There's a lot. Again, we talking about levels. There's a
Different
lot of.
levels, different levels.
You know what? The first thing that comes to me though is
Libido.
like the no, that wasn't even it. Like
No.
the
Okay.
confidence in the bedroom, the confidence when you take your clothes off.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's not even how your partner views you, it's how you view yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that's what makes you like better. That's what makes you feel better. That makes you more comfortable like in bed. Um, Now, yeah, stamina is important
Yes.
for sure. But yeah, all of that, all of the above.
Yeah. So for you couples, people in a relationship, that's and for the people not in relationships, like you may want to be in one soon, or maybe you're looking, or it's just not the right time. But when the time comes up, you have that confidence, right? And I think that's something, that men and women both were affected by. I think, men do a better job of trying to like not talk about it, right? We don't speak on it, but there is some merit to that. If you don't have the confidence in the way you look and feel, then you're going to go into things with, with that anxiety, right? That fear,
Yeah,
or that, oh my God, am I gonna, is she going to be attractive, or is he going to be attractive to me? Like, it's a real thing. So, when we talking about health and fitness in our life, that's another aspect, and what's another thing, let's talk about kids, right? So for our adults out there, you got these little young Thundercats running around, right? You got to keep up with them, or when your kids say, hey dad, let's go play soccer, and I can't because in 30 seconds I'm winded, like that affects your quality of life, because for me as a guy, like, especially a guy from the South, we think like, oh, I'm a guy, I'm a provider. So, I put the roof over the heads, and I put food on the table, and I make the money and all that, yada, yada, yada. But when it all comes down to it, when our kids get grown, they're going to think about the time you spent with them. They're going to think about the activities that you did with them and run around at the park. So, if you're unhealthy, there's going to be a lot of things you can't do. You're going to be looking on the sideline at your kids running around. You're going to be on the sideline, sitting in the chair, not participating just because you physically can't, or you
yeah,
can't do it long enough. What do you think?
absolutely. Just day to day activities. I think, going up the stairs, getting up and down off the floor, like heaven forbid something happens and, you get hurt. Working out and being healthy is going to put you in a better position to recover.
Mm-hmm.
But you shouldn't be tired, walking up and down the stairs or taking the dogs for a walk or the kid to the park, yeah, just it's a different like quality of life when you really take care of yourself, just overall in all those aspects, in
Yeah.
your sleep, in your relationships, in your longevity, in your recovery, in your mental health.
Yeah. Oh, mental health is huge.
Mental health.
Mental health is huge because, especially with the pandemic hitting, like a lot of people gain weight, and a lot of people have been, not everybody's fortunate. Like I have, I live in a house full of people, but not everybody's been fortunate to have that, And so when you couple the isolation with the weight gain, or it does it totally mentally, it affected me, and I consider myself, a fairly healthy person, and I had my little issues that prevented me from doing some stuff, and it affected me mentally. It affected my confidence in myself, and it's a real thing, and it's not a good look. It's not a good feeling, and I think sometimes people have gotten so used to feeling a certain type of way that we start to think it's normal. And I think there's a lot of people out there who don't actually know they need this type of adjustment in their life because they've gotten so used of feeling a certain way, and they don't know how good things could be if they took, health and fitness seriously.
Absolutely. And I mean, don't get it twisted. We're talking about all the benefits and all the good things. But when you're just starting your fitness journey, that shit is hard.
Absolutely.
It's hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's hard. And you're going to want to quit. I've been in the gym before and I've cried because I was going through whatever I was going through. But it's just a release. And, people talk about using it as therapy. And it sounds so cliche. But to pick up a 20-pound medicine ball and slam it on the ground 20 times, like that is a release, and it's hard. It's hard. You're going to sweat. You're going to hurt. But pushing through your workout is going to be the same way you push through life when shit gets hard. And I think it's a great correlation. Like if you can get up and do that and push through that, you can push through anything.
Absolutely.
It won't kill you. I promise.
Okay. And so, and then another thing I would like to speak on too is this. So again, kind of what I said earlier, people look at like fitness as an expense, but it's really a money saver, right? Let's think about like doctor visits. Let's think about prescriptions. Let's think about the cost of actually being unhealthy, right? It's freaking expensive to be unhealthy. Like, at my worst moments, I was hitting up 7-Eleven on a daily basis. You know what I mean? And, let's just talk about, $10 a pop. Let's just say, I was keeping it conservative and I was spending $10 a day. Well, that's $70 a week, 70 times 4. That's $280 a month.
Hold on. Let's just back it up. You were spending $10 in 7-Eleven?
Yeah.
What were you buying? Like 10 hot dogs?
No. I mean, you got your soda. That's the $2-3. You got your bag of chips. I like soft and sweet. So I got the candy bars. And then my whole excuse of getting out anyway was I was pretending to get stuff for my girls. So, I'm like, I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like every other parent out there, we blame shit on our kids. And like, oh, y'all want to eat pizza tonight? Cool. Well, hey, babe, the girls want pizza. You know what I mean? So, I was doing the typical excuses, like I'm human, and that's the one thing you're going to get from me as you guys get to know me is that I'm not going to be that coach who pretends to be all perfect and, I do everything perfect and I sleep 8 to 10 hours a day. I'm like, nah, man, I'm going to keep it 100 with you guys, man. I'm human. I like the same shit y'all like. I like it too. You know what I mean? So
I was just curious on how the 7-Eleven bill got.
Yeah, absolutely.
7-Eleven is cheap.
Absolutely. Yes. 7-Eleven is cheap, but I was dropping about $10 a day, you know what I mean? And that's just one trip, to 7-Eleven. We start talking about Starbucks, we start talking about, eating fast food and being convenient, like your budget for a gym membership is in your unhealthy food and your unhealthy habits, in your alcohol and, it's so funny when I see clients tell me like how they broke and then like literally the next day you see them at Disneyland and then 2 days later they're at Universal City Walk and not to say that those things are wrong, but it's priorities, you know what I mean? Like it's priorities, and so like I said, it's a lot of times it's not it's a money saver because the healthier you get, the more you consistently work out and start to adopt some healthier habits, you're not going to make some of these, I'm not going to call them bad decisions because there's nothing wrong with going to 7-Eleven occasionally, right? Within reason, there's nothing wrong with it. But it shouldn't be daily, and I'm not going to sit here and say, hit up 7-Eleven daily, eat unhealthy, and work out, and you're good. Like it doesn't work that way. But just might make some adjustments. You create that budget you need to get a membership, and it doesn't have to be at SlimTone or with a personal trainer. It could be, Planet Fitness for $10 a day. It doesn't have
so many resources that, like, look. I tell my clients, even when I'm gone, like just move. Even if that's like a 20-minute yoga video on YouTube, like just do something.
So let's talk about that. So let me ask you a question. And we're both, so I heard this phrase and it stuck with me. It's called MVP. Mm-hmm. The minimal viable plan, right?
Okay.
So at a minimum, if somebody said, hey, Mari, I can't afford to pay for anything. What can I do to be healthy without hiring or paying for a membership? Because there's people out there. Some people they just can't wrap their head around getting help. Even though we all need help. I need help. I'm a coach. I need help. To keep me accountable. My wife keeps me accountable. She's great at that. Me and Mari lean on each other, keep each other accountable before. So sometimes you need it, and if you need it, you know yourself better than somebody else. Then sometimes you need to belong to a group or program. But for the person who's self-motivated, they don't need the guidance, the accountability, but they don't know what to do. What would be the minimal viable plan for them?
I mean, it depends on their goal, right? Everybody's different, so it's hard to kind of generalize, but it is free to walk outside.
Absolutely.
It's free. Maybe you're just starting and you're not in great shape. Whatever, walk 15 minutes out, 15 minutes back. That's 30 minutes of cardio. Do a light jog, work up to a light jog. Especially places in LA where you have the beach, the stairs, hikes, hills, places like that. It's free. It's free. Again, like there's so many resources. I'd lean on YouTube. YouTube is videos. I'm not saying that everybody does everything correctly.
Absolutely not.
That's a video. But it gives you a baseline. It gives you a standard. It gives you some type of movement. And I always go to yoga because some yoga can be great in terms of like flexibility and in terms of low impact. So start there, 5-10 minutes. Just do something.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I agree with that. And then I would say from a nutritional standpoint, 'cause that's where everybody likes to, people like to ignore it because, they think they can outwork it. So from a nutritional standpoint, I tell people like, you don't need to because we have that natural, we always want to go all in, we don't like baby steps. We like instant gratification, right? So we think like, oh, we're starting tomorrow. I'm gonna no, start small.
Go no carbs and cardio every day and
keto, no, you don't need to do any. If you're looking to lose weight, you don't need to do any of that shit. Okay, what you need to do is first make sure you're properly hydrated, right? And a good measurement is 1 ounce per pound. So if you're 120 pounds, then drink 120 ounces, right? I'm sorry. Did I say it right?
Yeah, 1 ounce per pound.
1 ounce per pound. Or just drink 100 ounces because that's 9 out of 10. That's probably better than what you're doing now. So do that. Okay. Sleep better. So for most adults, I think 7 hours is plenty. 8 hours is great, but try to sleep better. Those are easy ones. And then from there, like Mari said, do the activities. In terms of food, the 80-20 rule is freaking awesome. 80% of the times eat healthy proteins, vegetables, stay away from, limit your carbs, not say no carbs, but limit them to healthier options. And then 20% of the time you can have like those fun things, right? The alcohol, the 7-Eleven trips, right? That I like to make. I'm not going to say I used to make. I like to make them, right? But that's just something
on the other side of the computer.
Yeah, because what's going to happen is you start off very basic. You get these small wins. You get some momentum. You get some traction. You get a routine going, and then you're going to find yourself either feeling the confidence to seek out help to take things to the next level, or you're going to start noticing yourself just kind of making better options without even thinking about it. If you go over there and crush a 30-minute walk or a great workout, you're not going to want to come back and then shove food in your unhealthy food in your mind. You're like, dude, I don't want to undo the work I just put in. So you're going to just naturally want to make better choices, So
it's really, really just about balance. So even if you don't, maybe you're not good at math. Maybe the 80-20 is too much. If you drink soda 7 days a week, cut it down to 5.
Yeah.
If you're going to 7-Eleven 5 days a week, try to cut it down to 3. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to go all in order for it to be effective. And I think that's where a lot of people kind of mess up. They want something quick. They're like, oh, I'm going to IF. I'm going to intermittent fast. I'm going to go like super extreme. I'm going to go 0 carbs for 2 weeks. That's not sustainable.
No,
it's just not real life. It's not real life.
Yeah, and people do get fast results, but then they gain that and more just as fast as they lost it, like, or even faster sometimes. So yeah, it's not sustainable. And that's the number one thing too. Like what you said is like, don't do something that's not sustainable long term. Don't go out there and do some crazy ass workouts that are so bad, or leave you in such a shape that, I'm not gonna tell you what I used to do because I don't want to get flamed in the comments about me slamming a particular type of working out. But I did a certain style, and it was great. I had the pump, I felt great, I had the results came in fast, but it wasn't sustainable long term. And I had to go get some physical therapy to get me out. That's how I got into TRX in the first place, by the way. It's because I had those issues and I had to explore different ways to train. And I guess it's a blessing because TRX was amazing. Then I got into Animal Flow and Zoo and kettlebells, and it's been great since. But yeah, you got to think about what you're doing and like, can I see myself maintaining what I'm doing for the next 10, 20 years? And if you can't, then you may maybe reevaluate that new activity or that new diet that you're looking at picking
You just have to find some enjoyment in it.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the people, I'm about to give a little shameless plug here, but for people who don't know what to do or need a community of people to support them or to communicate with them, GetSlimTone.com. We have a free community that you can join, and we regularly post articles that can help you tackle maybe a challenge in your life. We post monthly guides to help you level up your health and fitness game. And all this stuff is free. Now, we do have paid programs, but just for free, you can get access to all this stuff. You can get access to me. You can get access to Mari. You can get access to my wife, who's an amazing coach. You get access to all of us for literally no money. So there's nothing stopping you from going to GetSlimTone.com and getting that free community membership.
Do it.
Mari.
Yes.
So tell people about your services, because I want to make sure we properly let people know what you offer.
What do I offer? I offer everything.
Personal training.
Yes, I do personal training. I do partner training. I do group training. I do in person. But I like, for what we're talking about today, I think that the SlimTone community is perfect. I think another day I can go into like more stuff that I do, but I'm also a part of that community. You can DM me at Made by Mari Fitness. You can don't shoot me an email, because sometimes the emails go to spam and you're gonna be mad, like, oh, she didn't even respond. But shoot me a message in the community at SlimTone.
Yes.
Like, I love talking about this stuff, and I love helping people. If I could help people for free all the time and they pay my bills, I would do it. But do personal training.
Yeah. So hit us up, GetSlimTone.com, slide through, get that free account, get access to those free resources, get free access to me, Mari, and Maria. Get access to other grown-ass people like you looking to look and feel the absolute best so they can go out there and crush their day, make more money, have healthy relationships. Do it now. Don't procrastinate, okay? That's why we get in these situations, because we know we need to do shit and we don't do it, all right? So head over there. It takes you 2 minutes to sign up for your free account and get access to those free resources. Thank you guys for joining us for our very first episode of SlimTone Podcast. We're gonna have an official title next time, but for now, SlimTone Podcast. Roll with it. And if you ain't do it already, like, subscribe, hit that bell to be notified when we publish our next podcast. We love you. We appreciate you guys. Until next time,